You are going, guys. Um, you know, a little bit shy because this is my first time. Probably doing something like this. Thought about it. I said, let me just try it out to see what it would look like. Forgive my looks. I'm not looking buckish, but I've thought about starting. Is this a podcast? Does it look like a podcast? I don't know what to call this, but I spend a huge amount of time with myself, learning new stuff, you know, learning new things, getting to understand myself. I do that pretty much when I'm alone, when I'm at home. I'm not working, if I'm not outside, so I spend a lot of my time, spend a lot of time with myself, getting to know myself, learning new stuff, binge watching YouTube, taking actions and all that. So I just figured, why not record yourself and share the little ideas that you have. you know Figured I should do something like that, and I just had to pick up my camera, my phone, because I'm shooting with my phone. I'm shooting with my phone now. Picked up my phone, turned on the camera, connected my mic. I don't know if this angle is okay, but I felt like but today's video is about I'm sorry, forgive me for not introducing myself. My name is Gabriel. I'm 23 years old. Shocking, but yeah, I'm 23 years old, and I do a lot of things, but we'll get to that. Today is not about my personal life. I doing this video to talk about something, you know, and it's a very strong topic. It's a very, very strong topic. Be true to yourself. And I am not the origin of this. Um, on Friday, I stepped out. I went to school. I went to see my HOD because I have a problem. I have an issue that I've been tackling for 2 months now. So I went to see my HOD, and everything went smoothly. He was calm. you know he allowed me to express myself, to talk. He pointed out where I was wrong. I know I was wrong. Pointed out where I was wrong regardless of the fact. And he said he was going to give me an update on Monday. So after school, I went to the store. I went to check out my new apartment, and then I went back to the store. My friend was there. A friend turned brother. Yes, he was there. you know After work, we went out to just chill out, talk. We went to autograph, to watch. Why am I mentioning places? Forgive me. We went to chill out. We, had the heart to heart conversation. And honestly, I think both of us, I think we didn't want, that conversation to end. We talked for a very long time. That I had to spend the night at his place. We were three, had to spend the night at his place because it was too late. And we talked we talked that night, and then the next morning when we woke up, you know, we continued our conversation, and he brought this thing up about being true to yourself, being true to people around you. He said that that's like the fastest way to achieve what you want to achieve in life, especially with people around you. That's the fastest way to grow as a group, as friends, being true to yourself. And I felt like, that was 2 days ago, and yesterday, today is Sunday, you know, I had a huge reflection on what we discussed because we talked about so many things. And now I just felt like, sharing this with my camera, obviously, but with you guys about being true to yourself, and being true to the people around you. I don't know how to express this, but this is a case of, you know, if you want to grow with like your clique, your friends, your true friends, you have to be true to them and you have to be true to yourself. That's like the fastest way to grow as people, as humans. You have to be true to yourself and you have to be true to them. Be positive, do not hold grudges, you know, wherever they are failing in life, wherever they are not trying in life, you have to be true to them. I think that's like one of the purest form of love. You know, you had an argument with your friend, probably they did something that you did not like, you know. The best way to, solve, cases like that is not to hold grudges, not to, go to bed with it, not to, there's something we call akbo. Akbo is constant, it's more like you did something to me, I'm not going to say it, I'm going to hold it, and then probably it'll build up resentment, you'll have resentment towards them, and as time goes on, you start seeing them differently, probably hate them for what they do or something like that, but if you bring up, probably they offended you, and after some time, give it a few moments, you come back and be like, bro, I don't like this thing you did, or bro, this thing where you do pay me, let me go. This thing where you do pay me, I don't like this. Being blunt, being very honest with them, being true to them, you know, resolving that issue, that moment, being true to yourselves. You guys expressed your feelings. You be like, I don't like what happened, and you resolve, you move on. That's like the act of being true to yourself. If you see your friend not trying in life, if you see your friend going the wrong way, probably his attitude, you talk to them, be true to them, tell them, now look, there's something my friend said to me when we were having this conversation. I do this thing where whenever I'm having issues with myself, I withdraw from, all my from people, from my social media accounts, from my family, from my friends. I withdraw, I take this step backwards, and I just shut everybody off my account. I deactivate my account and all that. There's this thing, it has become a norm, and I do it almost all the time I'm having issues with myself. So he said something to me. He said that there's something I do that it doesn't really make sense. And he said it, I didn't take any offense. That's us being true to ourselves. Say it without sugarcoating. He expressed himself. He said, my post inspires him. The People that know me on Twitter, you know, Twitter is like my safe space. I express the way I feel, good, bad. They've seen me for better, for worse. And if you have my Twitter, you notice that there's a way I express myself, and I never thought people love or like it when I express myself. So my friend said something to me that the presence I have online motivates him, encourages him, and he feels somehow, and he really doesn't like it when I close that off. And again, in as much as I think that doing that is me trying to fix myself, that has brought me into this realization that closing your social media accounts, withdrawing from your family, withdrawing from everybody doesn't really solve the problem. You're shutting people off. You're creating, you're not discussing anything. They said a problem shared is half solved. It is true with the right people. Doing that, you're hurting more people, you're getting more people worried about you. And that is what I've been doing for years now. And my friend said this to me that he doesn't really like it when I close my account, so I shut everybody off. And it made more sense because shutting people off doesn't solve the problem. It doesn't. It doesn't. Instead of fixing the problem, I spend more time with myself. I think a lot. I have nothing else to do but thoughts, and it creates more problem, not just with myself but with people around me. So that was him being true to himself and to me, and that has helped me grow. And that is the reason why I'm here today, because I had a huge reflection on what we discussed that day. And look at me now. This is my first video, and I'm talking about this. So if that discussion, being true to yourself and being true to people around you, could bring me or take me outside of this box to record this video, I think you should apply that principle to your life as well and to the people around you. Being true to them. Most people might get offended when you're true to them, but don't stop, because that is you being original. That is you trying to better their lives and your life. My friend made an example that if out of 5 people, if one person is better, is doing very well, and just because he's not true to himself, or no, just because he's not true to like the people around him, with time they will draw him down. He used let me say flour as an example. He said if you plant 5 seeds and then you're just watering one, that one you're watering will grow very well. It doesn't mean the rest will not. They will also grow, but as time goes on, they will draw strength from. And they do vlog. Just give me like 2 minutes. So
if you see the cameras, it was a better place.
Abi,
Because where is your light? They actually,
the lights not the face this side. So if I keep
position. So,
yeah, yeah, but I go try them out. Even this position safe mobile.
I think I
No problem. It can still make sense. So that was my friend as well. So where was I? So he made an illustration using planting a flower or a tree, for example. Imagine you you plant 5 seeds and you're just watering one, it doesn't mean the rest won't grow. Of course they'll grow, but as time goes on, they will draw strength from the one you watered, and with time, all of them will be on the same level. Probably the one you watered will die. So this same thing applies to the people around you. If you have someone that that is very successful, that is true to himself, but probably is not true to the people around him, with time everybody will draw from him. They will draw from him, and after some time he will come down to their level. So in essence, in order to grow, we have to be true to ourselves. We have to carry ourselves. Whatever this particular person is lacking, you have to be true to him. You have to tell him that, look, oh boy, you the fuck up. You the lack. Say it with grace. Be blunt, be honest. Don't sugarcoat it. Say it with grace. Say it with concern. But be honest. Be true to yourself and be true to the people around you. Tell them, talk to them. Because most people, especially myself, I don't have an elder brother. I have 2 elder sisters. And being a man is different from a woman. Being a man is, the experience of a man is different from, I think both people have different experiences, but the experience of a man is quite different and is intense. And I don't really have someone that will tell me about, that will talk to me, tell me things based off of their experience. And and I have few people. I have my dad, but then again, I don't have an elder brother. So if I have friends that can point out direction, yes, my dad talks to me, but I don't spend a lot of time with my dad. I don't stay with him. The people I see almost every day are my friends, and most times my siblings when when I'm around them. But they're my friends are like the people I spend most of my time with, because we work together and all that. So we get to see almost every day. So these are like the people that I want to talk to me, to tell me that, oh, you're doing this, you're not doing this correctly, the way you acted is wrong. By the time we start being true to ourselves, you see that we'll grow very fast. We'll leave some bad habits behind. Because look, at the end of the day, you cannot figure it out alone. You can't. You need people. You need people to be true to you. You need to wake up. You need people to be true to you. You need to be true to yourself. That's the first step to this great awakening. Being true to yourself. That's the first thing. And then you need your circle to be true to you as well. And you need to be true to them. So I hope I was able to speak something into your soul. So see you next time. I don't know when, but if I have a few ideas of mine, a few experiences that you'd like or you'd want me to share. This is my first video. So cheers to more experiences and more truths.